All right, in 1 minute, I'm diving into how you can use AI to generate 1 to 3 months worth of content on outlines, research, and short form videos with ChatGPT in just 15 to 20 minutes. So, most clever AI prompt videos just tell you how to create 100% unlimited AI content on autopilot. But that's a really fast way to completely screw your connection, human emotion, and realness with your audience. How can we get the best of both? So in this video, we're going to use AI as our assistant to get us 90% of the way there, our research, our ideas, instant outlines for scripts for video. And then we combine that with you where you're going to refine the script, add your real stories and your humanness. So I'm going to give you all my powerful, detailed AI prompts for GPT that you can just copy and paste, and how you can get GPT to actually podcast interview you. So you can just produce these short form clips and you'll end up with 1 to 3 months worth of short form video. And honestly, now I have a system where I can produce a lot more content, spend a lot more time with my daughter, and definitely a lot less stressed and anxious, and save so many hours. All right, let's dive into the demo. AI generation system, which is completely free and you can download. All of the prompts are going to be in here for you to copy and paste step by step. This is a summary of what it does. So we're going to teach GPT. It's really important to warm up AI with the context of what you're looking for. So we're going to teach it about our offer, and this is going to be in the context of taking your customer or your viewer from a place where they're stuck to something that they want. Ideally, that will be your product. And I call this the A to B journey, which we'll talk about in a second. We're then going to get GPT to help us with content ideas. And basically, these are the micro problems that our customer is going to have on the journey from their A to B. Once we have a list of problems from AI plus adding our own problems, then we can start to prioritize things with viral potential. And we're going to really dig into, and then we're going to get AI to help generate a full content outline and intro script. And then what is really cool is we're going to get AI to do kind of an interview to us so that we can use that to generate tons of short form content videos. And then you come in and we need to apply this human side to it, our emotion, our real stories, so that we then stand out above everyone else and we're still producing lots and lots of content. It's actually really fun to do, to get AI to interview a whole bunch of questions. One time I spent 2 hours and I really enjoyed it. It's like I was being actually interviewed for a podcast. All right, let's go to step one. We're going to train our AI assistant GPT to teach it about our avatar. Very simple. Our avatar is our customer or our viewer. If you're an entrepreneur or you don't even have an offer yet, then along the line, maybe you want to create a offer or a product or a course. And so your avatar is the most likely person that would buy your offer. And the A to B is taking someone from a place where they're stuck, like this right here. So let's say they're unfit and to lose 20 pounds, or go from addicted to alcohol and really want to get sober. So a place where they are right now feeling the pain, but a place where they also know they want to get to. So diving in, once you get hold of this system, all you have to do, I'm not going to read through all of the prompts right here, but basically you click on these little arrows and you can essentially go in and just copy and paste the prompt and then replace it with your details. So we're not producing any content ideas yet, we're training GPT. So let me show you through what I would do. I come in here and I would select everything inside this box, which is the prompt. And we're going to paste it straight into GPT. Now, if you, in later videos, I'm going to show you actually how you can use a custom GPT and create your own custom GPTs. And you can essentially do this pre-training already done for you so that it's good to go whenever you need new content. But right now we're going to start from scratch. So I won't read all this out to you, but essentially what this is doing is, like I said, it trains with GPT to teach it about your avatar, your ideal customer, and the overall A to B journey transformation that you're trying to help people with. And then first we're going to say to GPT, if you understand all this, don't do anything yet, but just let me know that you understand when you're complete. And then I'll ask you to help me with some questions around problems and specific content ideas. You can see these are pretty detailed prompts. So essentially what you need to do is just come in here and replace this with your A to B journey of what you offer. So if you help with people learning to play piano or guitar, or getting fit, or helping people quit alcohol, then you describe the journey from A to B here to replace all of this with as much detail as you want. You can just have one short paragraph like this if you want. The more detail I find, the better. And you only have to do this one time and then copy and paste and keep this somewhere in a document for next time. Finally, come down to your avatar, and for me, I've described this avatar in a bit more detail again because it helps GPT with a lot more context. The more context you give it, the better it'll do. And so I'm focusing on people that are in uninspiring 9 to 5s and feeling really stuck, and they dream and have this kind of passion for creating something online, their own business to build to financial freedom. And so I've detailed out maybe even some of the pain points and emotions that people are feeling. Now you can go, like I said, as far as you want, or you can keep this one paragraph here and one paragraph here, but paste this in, replace your A to B journey, replace your avatar. All right, so let's fire away this prompt and let's see what GPT says. So straight away, I understand. I believe I asked it to also ask me any more questions if you need any more information, if my information is not crystal clear. But right now, ChatGPT is just repeating back to me a bit of a summary of what I've got. You'll notice here, depending on if you have the history or the memory feature in ChatGPT and paid GPT, then it's also remembering some of the stuff that I offer. Okay, so this is where it gets really fun. So I want to jump back to this screen here for 1 second of why this is important. The A to B journey that we're taking our customer on, our content is basically going to become the mini problems. But what the next prompt does, watch why I've kind of optimized this to make it really powerful, is we call this area kind of the top of funnel, the people where the most people online are. These problems are the problems that people are going to be having at the start of their journey. So if it's learning to play guitar, like learning the basic chords, and then when you get to like the F chord, I remember that being really tricky, and my fingers started bleeding and stuff like that. These are all the problems that happen in this area of the journey for our customer. If you're going from alcohol addiction, I'm sure there's very specific problems at the start. If you're learning to ride a mountain bike on the trails, then there's going to be some very key specific problems that you have to solve before you get to the rest of the journey and before you get to this big end goal, which is B, the big outcome. And so the next prompt actually is really, really focused around getting us lots of problems that are at the start of this journey. Not only that, this prompt here will also not find the problems that we think are the problems as a coach or as a mentor or a leader or a guide. It's actually going to try and figure out what are the problems for your customer from their perspective, which I think is really, really crucial because funnily enough, I think sometimes when someone is going through something here, what they think is the problem is the thing that they're going to respond to, but that may not actually be the problem. So you'll see from the table this generates, it has some pretty powerful stuff, such as, firstly, the name of the problem from the pain that the customer thinks is the problem. And it must be in the avatar's own words of what the customer would say that they think they are stuck on and need help with. And I remember Tom Bilyeu talking about this as a crucial point. You need to market or produce content to the problem that they think they have, not the problem that we can actually help them with. That may be different. And then I talk about a phase of the A to B journey. So we're really going to focus on this first phase. And some people call this kind of top of funnel. And then the type. So we're actually going to ask GPT to talk about skill problems and mindset problems and categorize them. So the things that are really like self-doubts and fears inside us, it's going to look at inner problems and outer skill-based problems. And that's why I really love this technique. Then it's going to figure out what the underlying deeper problem may be that the avatar might not even know about, and then even create potential solutions and processes for you. And if you have a business set up online or creating a business right now, it's going to suggest ideas of freebies and free downloads or PDFs that you could make based on this problem to actually solve the problem. So, and I just love this prompt. So let's throw it in now. You've done the hard work already of just thinking and brainstorming through your avatar and your A to B journey. And now you just get to copy and paste this section. So I highlighted everything in this box. Again, download this whole system for free in the link in the description. And now in the same chat, it's important you do it in the same chat. You just throw this in here and let's see what we get. Hopefully, I think it's going to generate like 25 initial problems. And sometimes it takes a minute or two because it's doing a lot of complex analysis here. All right, let's see what we got. You can do this over and over again to create more and more content ideas. And And so they're organized into a nice table that you can actually copy and paste anywhere into Excel. I use Notion to organize all of my stuff. I can actually paste into a Notion database, but that is for another video. Let's see what we have here. Basically a whole bunch of content ideas. That the best content I think that is really, really relatable just relates on problems. And what is really, really cool about this prompt is it takes this A to B journey, it splits it into phases. It works out what the phases might be. We teach it this in the prompt, and then it specifically focuses on the pain points in phase 1 and 2 of whatever your journey is. So at the end of this video, or at the end of this demo, I'm going to give it a brand new A to B niche that we're going to try and do it really fast in 5 minutes on a brand new niche. Something like my nephew's mountain biking channel would be perfect. Let's look at this. I don't know what niche. I feel stuck picking an idea. I'm scared my idea won't work and I waste time. Remember, these are in the words of the avatar, not in the words of us as a coach or as a guide or as a mentor. I don't know how to validate my idea. I have too many ideas and I can't really pick one what to do. I have enough time. I don't have enough time to start a business while working full time. That is an absolute classic. Now you can see here, most of these are organized into either skill, a mindset, and a category. Now where this gets really cool is you could take one of these items. Let's take... I don't have enough time to start an online business while working full time. That straight away, play around with that title. Now that's your YouTube video for next week, for example, or your long piece of long form content. You know, it's a mind and a skill set problem. You know, it's a time management problem. So you could actually go off and then do some research around this specific topic on YouTube and see what videos are really, really performing well. So that you can do something very, very similar to that using a similar structure. But I'll talk about that in another video. And so it's suggested here, solution title, how to find 10 extra hours a week to build your business. And that sounds to me like a really good freebie PDF, either a YouTube title or a PDF freebie that you could offer to get people on an email list for you. And it's suggested here, time planner template. We've got things like decision-making framework PDF, step-by-step validation guide, a checklist, validate your idea in 7 days. If I expand out solution process, it will give us a list of 3 things. So we've got here time audit. So do a time audit, batch your work into power hours. I actually love that. Never heard that before. Power hours. And eliminating low value tasks. Like that, honestly, that is really, really good advice right there. So I absolutely love the system. You can run it over and over again. And this is just one of the prompts. We already got tons of content ideas. So now you're never going to run out of ideas. But again, what is really cool here is everything is based around your A to B journey. And Tom Bilyeu said one time is all of your content, I spent years like creating random content all over the place. If you focus on all your content being around this A to B journey, laser focused, then everything is highly targeted. You're going to attract the right audience because they'll be constantly interested in all of these little micro problems on that journey. Everything's aligned, and that will equal more money for you in the future. More sales, more power, more emotion, more stories, more connection, and it just makes everything more powerful, even more trust and everything. So actually, let's take my nephew. And we're going to go from his A to B journeys, taking people that don't know how to fix their mountain bikes. He's a kind of pro mountain biker these days, and we're really good audience on YouTube and many other channels. Jay Hurst MTB, and he wants to launch a course to help people fix their bikes so they save money from going to the bike shop. And so taking people from haven't got a clue how to fix their bike, I could add this here from where they are right now, because that is me. I don't know how to fix my bike, and I take it to the shop all the time. I lose a lot of money, and really I could just learn how to do it myself with Jay's course. So he wants to offer an outcome where I can fix my bike and save a lot of money. I can fix the top 10 problems. So why don't we use this as an experiment on the fly right now? I was going to do this at the end, but I'll do it right now. And I'll show you through the exact process one more time, show you how fast this is. So we are going to copy and paste prompt 1. I have a new ChatGPT window, a fresh one. I'm going to paste this in here. Now I need to replace my avatar and A to B journey. So I'm going to pause and do that real quick. All right, so I've quickly entered here, going from not knowing how to fix brakes, gears, basic stuff, which is me, and constantly spending money in the bike shop where they go in and one thing is broken, they suddenly have to pay for like 3 or 4, 5 things, and spending tons and tons of money. So let's fire this in. and see what we get. Understand your avatar. So GPT in step one has just said they understand and they've got our avatar this time, and they've given a really good like description and summary of exactly what we have stated. Now it's the even easier bit. Like that took me like 2 minutes to put in. Now we fire the second prompt in, and this one's nothing to even replace. All right, so sometimes you have to, it only created 10 the first time, and you have to ask it, you can just politely say, please, can you create the next 15 if you want 25, and you can ask it to keep doing extra and extra, up to you. And let's see what we got for this biking A to B journey, or bike maintenance A to B journey right now. You can adjust these columns. Again, you can copy and paste. If you have troubles, by the way, copy and pasting, I find if you just ask GPT to say, can you give me a version of this table that I can copy and paste, it will not create this like special thing here. You can actually download this as a file that you can put into Excel, but if you ask it to just give you a copy and paste version, it will do that for you as well. So we have things like spending, content. I imagine these were YouTube titles. I keep spending hundreds on simple bike repairs. So that'd be a good, obvious topic. I'm scared I'll mess up my bike if I try to fix it. Bike shops always find some extra problems I wasn't aware of. My bike always has something wrong. Don't know what to do. I've tried fixing my gears once and made it worse. YouTube videos make it look easy, but I still struggle. My brakes always feel off after a shop visit. I don't have time to learn bike repair. I don't understand. My gears keep slipping. These are literally the ones we were talking about, the real ones. I have no idea how to fix a flat tire. Let's take it to the shop. So these are basic, maybe not mountain biking, but maybe. I struggle to even remove my wheels. I know some tires that are these days, like the tires that are glued on, the tubeless tires, really, really hard to deal with. I never know what to bring on a ride in case something breaks. You could do a whole video around like the essential gear that you need to bring on a ride. And that's exactly what it's put here. Solution title, the must-have MTB repair kit, never get stranded again. You're never really ever going to get stuck for content ideas when you do this, and you can keep doing it. Now, let's move on to the next phase of the prompts, because this is where it actually gets really, really cool. But first, just to mention, if you grab the download, you'll also get the prompts for if you want to add your own ideas, which I think is absolutely essential. You're going to have your own ideas. If you're the specialist, if you're the coach or the trainer that can teach people, you're going to want to take these ideas and add your own ideas. So there's a prompt inside this one to add your own ideas. And then the second one here, or the third one here, is where you can ask GPT to actually prioritize. What do you think is the top 5 that would actually have viral potential? And the prompts inside here. And it's really, really cool because it will go through these 25 and the ones that you add. And then it will not only just, it may just pick 5 random ones. So what do you know? It will actually summarize why it thinks those have the best viral potential. So even though I'm going in depth in this video with the demo, you can see here from what we just did with the biking, we can already complete step 1, 20 plus ideas, and then add our own ideas in just 5 minutes. And tons of ideas that not only we can use for long form content, but we can use for short form content too. But the next phase gets really, really cool. And this is my process for bulk content. So I never really feel behind on my content. I keep 20 plus ideas in a table, just like I showed you with those, with step 1, step 2, those 2 prompts. And I've constantly got those in a table. Now, what is really, really key is prioritizing the ones that you think are going to perform really, really well. That is my next step here. And then the next set of prompts will take your priority ideas, or let's just pick one video that you want to do right now for, let's say you want to do a video for next week. You pick it out of your top 5 prioritized. Okay, this is the one I'm going to do. Now we go to step 3. ChatGPT and AI is going to help us outline this video in a lot of depth. And it's going to do some research for us that is going to be insanely useful. It's not going to write the perfect video for you. There's so many videos online that just do 100% AI content that you kind of don't get any connection if you just read out a script that AI generates. The whole point is you are 90% of the way there with AI generating the outline. And we're actually going to use a proven writing framework to help generate a really powerful intro for the video. We're going to get AI to do the research for us. And then we are responsible for the last part, which is optimizing the script, recording the script, and bulk recording. But because we're 90% of the way there, everything becomes so much easier. Okay, so 3A is optional, and that is going, if you have more time, I strongly, strongly recommend going through this. This is where AI using this prompt is going to interview you powerful questions around the problem topic that you choose, the video that you want to create. And that creates all this humanization and emotion and stories and relatability, and it will interview you. So it will capture those for you before it creates the script. Right now, for this demo, I'm just going to jump in step 3B, the next prompt, to create a YouTube introduction and a bit of an outline for a script for a video that we can use as our foundation very quickly. So you can see here the depth of this prompt again. It's going to create 2 tables for us, which I'll show you in a second. And I'm saying, as my pro AI content assistant, using specifically the context of my avatar and the A to B journey, and then it's going to use the problem that we pick, and we can even say number 1 from the table, and then it's going to use a writing framework to actually help write a powerful script that is using things like attention, interest, desire, and action. But you can replace this if you Google powerful writing frameworks. You can replace this with whatever framework you want. But for now, I'm just going to copy and paste this and let's get rolling. I need to replace here with the problem that I am going to pick, the micro problem on that A to B journey that we talked about. So essentially, ChatGPT has generated 25 of these for us already, and we're going to pick one of these, and that is going to be our video of the week. Next week, I'm going to do a different video. So for now, I'm just going to pick this guy here. So I'm going to just copy and paste that guy, and I'm going to say you can put any problem you like in here. It doesn't even have to be from the table. You can just replace it with anything. But I'm going to say number 1 from the problems table, which is, I don't know what niche to choose. I feel stuck picking an idea. Then you can replace the framework here. Generally remove the stuff in square brackets, but Google other frameworks if you want to be a bit more persuasive, a bit more fun, or have humor. Just say humorous writing framework. So we're combining the problem and the writing framework, and then that's it. You just fire this off again, and it's really easy. All right, and that has actually done that super, super quick. So what this does is create 2 tables for us. So table 1 is all about research. It's going to create 5 viral worthy content YouTube titles right here. And it's going to, now, obviously these are very AI style. So you need to then take these and optimize, choose the one that you like, and then optimize or change it or come up with your own. But these, again, get you 90% of the way there. 5 attention grabbing hooks that you could use to start off your video. Let me see here. I like things with stats. Did you know that 40% of startups fail because they didn't find the right niche? I heard a higher percentage than that. But this is basically your research table that you can use for your content. You can just pick and choose which bits that you want to use, like the title or hook. And what is really one of my favorite things about this prompt is that it will actually pick a book for you. So it's picked Good to Great, Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't, by Jim Collins, and it pulls out powerful quotes. So let's look at this. We're talking about the problem is I don't know what niche to choose and I feel stuck picking an idea. Look at some of the quotes in this book. If you have more than 3 priorities, then you don't have any. I like that. Importance of niching down, the importance of one thing. The essence of profound insight is simplicity. So there's some good quotes here. You can ask it again to pick another book for me. But what is also really cool in this quote is it will not only get quotes from the author of the book, but it will talk about what other people did they quote in the book. Good is the enemy of great. I've heard that a lot of times. Really good. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. It's kind of cool. Want to know more about that? Steve Jobs classic. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. So Steve Jobs quotes, always really powerful. So you could just drop these in your content straight away. You can generate like B-roll, overlays, things like that. So you've got everything in this table, research of whatever you need. But what I really like here in this column or in this row is shocking facts about the problem. Sometimes the shocking facts and the stats can really be the things that you can overlay on top of your content to be really powerful things. Let me see what they got here. 42% of small businesses fail because there's no market need for their services or products. So again, you can play with this, get it to give me some more shocking facts. Another really useful one is I get it to give me analogies. Choosing a niche is like picking the right key for a lock. The right fit opens the door effortlessly. So it's going to relate this to something like pretty easy, and this is supposed to be grade 5 level content, so it's super easy to consume and understand. And then we're pretty much good to go with a template that you can take and now rework. And you can see it's taken the AIDA, which is attention, interest, desire, and action, as the introduction for this video. And it has basically created a little script here for you of AIDA, an intro, and then step-by-step suggestion of how to fix the problem, the micro problem, and then a suggestion for a CTA, basically a link in the description, something you can download to grow your email list if you're an entrepreneur. So you can see this took another 2 minutes to generate this. You can change frameworks to something else. I'll show you in another video how to take a YouTube video that has already gone viral, like let's say by someone like Dan Coe, and we take that transcript and we turn it into a framework that you can plug into the system. And that's something I'm doing right now, which I find really, really powerful. So what do we do with this right now? Obviously, I'm not just going to get the camera out and just read this. I could if I want to just suddenly make content, but I would take this and put it in my editor, put it in Notion for me, and I would refine this and optimize it to be about me. And when I say about me, I mean my stories, my emotion, my vulnerability, like all the mistakes I've been through, and just really get those in there so it's super, super relatable to people. Now, the cool thing is if you went through step 3A, this powerful prompt here, where it will actually interview you first about the problem before it creates this script, and it will ask you some really powerful questions. I did this a couple of days ago, and it was really cool, like the interview process that it went through. And you can also use that same interview process to help you generate ideas for short form content around the same problem. So it will ask you powerful and deep podcast style questions. And this helps humanize the content piece. And so it will then drop some of your stories into, if you talk about a certain story, then it will drop it into this script framework, which I think is super, super cool. But at the very end of this video, we're going to talk about how to use this very similar approach from Dakota Robertson using the GAP framework. And it will then create tons of questions for you to generate short form. That way you have like 3 months worth of short form video content to go. This, again, everything is super related to your A to B journey of the thing that you actually offer, your specific audience, your specific A to B journey. And so everything is laser focused and niched in. And so that is the whole process. In a minute, I'll talk about the bonus thing that is really, really amazing about short form content with Dakota Robertson. But this is the process. Essentially, we're using the best of AI and the best of human. AI gets us 80-90% of the way there. We just produced one video outline extremely quickly that we could have optimized further with emotion and stories with just a few more minutes. And you can use the voice chat thing on AI to actually do it as an interview in an actual kind of podcast, which is super cool. And we've used AI to generate 25 plus ideas immediately, and we can multiply more, all based around our niche and our A to B journey. And then we can also ask AI to help prioritize those ideas for us. We can add our own ideas. We get AI to create research, quotes, books, statistics, and more, and shocking facts. And then we get it to write some YouTube introductions and outlines using viral writing frameworks, and we can give it different frameworks. And then in a minute, we're going to talk about podcast interview powerful questions to create short form videos for 2-3 months. And then you can just repeat this over and over as you go. Here's your role is now you're at this place where you have 25 ideas, you capture those, put them in a spreadsheet, put them in Notion, wherever you want to. And then one by one, you prioritize and pick an idea and you stack them up. This is my process. So once you've got this framework here, you then optimize and edit them. This is where we have to learn how to be a writer. Essentially, writing frameworks. I took a course. I took the 2-Hour Writer by Dan Coe. I took a course from Taylor Simmons on X called Growth Ghost and Micro Writer, and that was freaking amazing. And so that's where I got into writing frameworks and things like that. So if you basically then take the AI script and then optimize it for emotion and your own stories. It's going to become 10x more powerful than any other AI content out there. And then, as part of the process, you would bulk record your short form and your long form videos, maybe in a weekend when you have time, when you're busy with your 9 to 5. You just bulk record everything, and then you can schedule these things up to 1 to 3 months worth ahead. And it just takes so much of the less stress and burnout and this kind of panic of what the hell should I put out there? I'm supposed to put something out straight away. What should I put out there? All right, so just before I go into that bonus section about the short form content, if you click on the link in the description, you'll get this whole fast content AI system, all the copy and paste prompts that I've been through, plus all the bonus prompts. But here's what's really cool is I've been building the Entrepreneur free newsletter over the last few weeks. I launched it a couple of months ago. And I also launched Entrepreneur System. So we've got the habit planner system in here, downloadable print habit planner you can print out and tick things off to really, really gain massive momentum, working out your niche, scoring your niche, and my idea capture system, like ideas straight from your phone. And we just talked about capturing ideas with AI. This is how to capture your own human ideas and get them into Notion with an incredibly powerful, like automated system using Notion AI and Notion automations. And this, honestly, I think this is probably even my favorite. Okay, the AI content's my favorite, but this is how to save 20 hours a week to be able to launch your side hustle. So you can never say the excuse, I'm too busy again, because we all know there's time in our phones. So when you sign up, or when you grab that link in the description, just throw in the email, like all of this is free. And I keep adding systems to this page right here. I'm excited to see what you make of it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's dive into the final part, which is this podcast interview about short form content. So one of Dakota's amazing videos that you can go get on his YouTube channel in Hey Dakota here. Hey Dakota. And it talked about how you can create tons of short form content very, very quickly using a framework, I think, created by Dakota called the Gap framework. I'm going to show you how we can plug this directly into our AI framework right here. So the Gap framework is about growth, authority, and personal content. So the idea of the growth content is popular trends and figures to drive traffic to your profile. And the goal is to attract more interest and expand within your niche. Authority content is to incentivize, oh my God, followers by offering actionable information and solutions. So you being an authority. And personal content is just to create like a human connection, like the way I have mistakes in my video all the time. It builds a deep connection with your audience, fostering a community of true fans. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab this prompt that is also in here from it's Dakota's prompt, but I've also optimized it to plug into the system. And so we're going to replace it with our A to B journey or one of the single problems. So using the same prompt here, we're just going to paste this in. And we're going to use my journey of the problem of going from a painful 9 to 5 to creating a dream online business and creating freedom. So that's the problem we're going to focus on. That's all you have to do. Just paste that puppy in and put your problem in. You could put any one of the single micro problems from the table, and let's fire away. Okay, so here's what GPT has generated for us. So using the the Gap framework, basically it's generated these powerful questions. And later on, I've added a bit here to enhance this. So it will ask us some deeper personal questions at the end as well. So for bulk recording short form content, 1 to 3 months using your exact A to B niche, really, really focused in, you can go through any of these questions. What can Elon Musk's mindset teach us about escaping a 9 to 5? We can go research that and then just record a little piece of content. So here's what you would do using Dakota's method. Basically, like grab some headphones, grab your mic right here. I got my mic set up right here. There you go. Shift you over. And then you could, for the short form, I would put the question on the screen, or you can get someone to actually ask it to you and then just record it like you're answering a podcast. You can either be looking at the camera or you can be looking away. And it's super, super powerful. Let me pick one right here. So these are about growth. One daily habit that will help you quit your 9 to 5 faster. So if that was the title on the screen, I would say we'll just dedicate 1 hour a day to actually growing your business, like doing something online, whether it's recording content and creating versus consuming and scrolling on our damn phones all the time. Watching Netflix, scrolling, we do that all the time. But what if you dedicated at least 1 hour a day, probably two, to actually growing your business? So it starts to feel like a podcast. It's really, really cool. It's actually really fun to do as well. Now, maybe if you've got the authority knowledge, you could do, here's an example here. What's the best strategy for getting high ticket clients on X and Twitter? Well, I've actually done quite a little bit on X. And so on X, you can get DMs. And so I could do like a 1 minute little short form content about the best strategy, I think, is to actually like post these viral threads. And there's a way to actually help get retweets out there and network to get more and more retweets to help people spread your post wider. And then you DM everyone that responds on that post. And then you attach a freebie on the end of that thread. And so you can see here, I've just dynamically on the fly created a pretty cool little bit of short form content, hopefully really useful. And this is now authority. Let's jump in and do one on the personal content questions. You can see how I could probably produce like 3 months worth of short form videos just very easily in 1 weekend. There's some good ones here. Like, what was your worst moment as an entrepreneur? What does financial freedom mean to you personally? How did you overcome imposter syndrome when you first started? But let's definitely do this one. What is your morning routine as an entrepreneur? Because this one here, I know morning routines have been insanely viral and powerful videos. So my morning routine as an entrepreneur, I pre-prioritize like my week's worth of tasks of the things that really move the needle, the things that really leverage things, the 80-20 rule. We use the 80-20 rule to really prioritize the tasks. And every morning, I just get straight to doing that first big task. They call it the eat the frog, right? So I get the big one out of the way first. And sometimes it's the one that you really don't want to do, but you just have to do it and you get it out of the way. If you do this consistently every morning and take care of your sleep and your nutrition and your fitness as well, I massively recommend that, then you're just going to be flying ahead of so many people that are just doing random tasks and really just scrolling social media, doing Netflix and getting nowhere over time. Every morning, if you smash out that big needle moving priority task, like over a month or two, you're just going to be flying. Okay, so there's another little short form content. I don't know if it's any good, but it felt fun. So my friends, you get the idea. This part I find really, really fun. And again, back to part, let me see, 3A. In here is a very similar thing where we get GPT to interview us with powerful questions. And I've specifically in the prompt designed it so that it will ask you deep and try to create emotional questions to humanize the content piece. And then it will help put that in the script. And then this right here will help you produce tons of short form video content for YouTube or TikTok or